Now I explained on the board how to cut the shorts. Now we're going to do it on the fabric. I've folded my rectangle using my quarter hip, the back 4-point measurement plus 3 centimeters for your seam allowances. All right, so we're going to get our AB, which is that measurement, and AC is the length of the shorts that you need. So we draw a cross for the length, and here we have the rectangle. Now after you do that, you're going to measure to get your hip line in, and remember for the back is 20 centimeters plus 3 centimeters, or 18 centimeters plus 3 centimeters depending on your height. The taller persons find the hip line at 20 centimeters from the waist, the shorter persons at 18 centimeters from the waist. Now we're going to put in the crotch line, and for this person the crotch is 26, and we're going to add 3, so we get to 29. So it's 3 centimeters added to your crotch measurement, and again that is for your seam allowance and for the rise at the back of the shorts. All right, so this line is the hip line, this line is your crotch line. After that is done, we're going to put in the 4-point. Now the 4-point for this person is 10 plus 1.5 centimeters, so it's 10 centimeters plus 1.5, so I'm marking it at 11.5. Okay, you draw the line straight down. So that's line G, and I'll be doing the 4-point shape now. So you come from G 1.5 centimeter, and then you're going to shape from there down using your meter stick or your ruler towards your hip line. The crotch line is where the 4-point fits. So you come in 1.5 from the end and take your curve. And this gives you your 4-point for the back. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the waist. And that's from G. You take it from G and measure across, quarter of the waist, plus the dart, plus the side seam, and you mark. Then you will shape from there to your hip. You can do it freehand, or you can use your curve, your French curve. All right, remember I said to get H, at this point we come down 1.5, and we shape up to H, to E, to G, from H up to G. So the center back of your shorts is higher than the side. So this is the side of the shorts, this is the center back. So it's looking like that. Now we are down for the hem. All right, so I'm going to do my hem line, and I'll use 3 centimeters. Remember, you can vary your length for your hem. So this is where the hem will turn. And it's at this point now we'll bring the leg in. And I like 3 centimeters in. I find that works well. This can vary depending on how tight you want the fit of your shorts on the leg. Now you're going to use your ruler to join the hip point there. And you use from the 4-point, which is F here, and join it to the leg. Okay, now you need to turn the hem up for hemming, and you're going to make sure it fits smoothly when you turn it up, so you have to come out a little bit on the line. At the bottom we use this point to bring it out, so when it turns up it will match. Alright, so this is here. We'll bring it out to there. And that's how the shorts is done. I will recap quickly for you. We fold the fabric, quarter of the hip plus the 4 point plus 3 centimeters. And that's giving us the 2 sides. Then you put your hip line in, and you're to add 3 centimeters to whatever your hip line is. And your crotch line in, and you add 3 centimeters as well. Then you do your 4 point, your 1/8 of the hip measurement, to which you're going to add 1.5 centimeter. That's G, you draw that line down. And then from the G, you come out 1.5 to shape up your crotch 4 point area. From G, you measure the waist, quarter of the waist plus the dark plus the side seam allowance, mark, and shape to the hip. At the hem, you go in 3 centimeters on either side. Join the hip point to the 3, the 4 point to the 3, and complete your hem. If you're doing the cuff onto it, we go down 10 centimeters extra and form the cuff. Okay, so I will cut. Remember, when you're cutting, allow the chalk line to rest on the main garment. This curve at this point can vary with the height of the bottom. If the person has a very high bottom, you start your curve a little higher up. So if the person is very fat here, you can come out wide at this point. So instead of going straight like that, you would start going out from here. So here would be wider. Okay. So this is the back. Now we're going to go the front of the shorts. Remember, we said that the front is smaller, so we're going to bring it in to get the difference on the front. Now we will go through a similar process where we're going to put in the hip line first. But this time the 18 will become 19.5 and the 20 will become 21.5. So we're adding just 1.5 on this. All right. So the crotch depth is similar, you just add 1.5. Draw the lines across. Okay. Now the 4 point is half of the back, so it's 5.5 plus 1.5, so we get 7 here. That's line G. Remember, I told you that the zip is put onto the front of the short, so we're going to use the fly That's what the zip will be attached to. I'm using 5 centimeters for that. And you come 2.5 below the hip line. Just shape it up. Use your ruler for your straight lines, and then you're going to be curving. So the zip will go on this. And then you continue. Finish the front, come in the 1.5 for your seam allowance and draw it in place. So that gives it a fly. Alright, so we go to the length. Okay. That in place. Okay. And the waist. I'm gonna have the waist again, just have it. So you got your waist there. Okay, so you should have your hip here, hopefully. And then we're going to shape it to the hip. And the hemline is 3 centimeters. We're going the same 3. This together. All right, so now for the front, we go down at the center front, 1.5. So on the shorts, the front is lower than the back. So you go up at the back, you go down on the front. Make sure you go straight across where the zipper is. The fork point is. And the flies. You're going to come straight across, leave your seam allowance there, and you taper it up to the side. Because when you put the back on the front, you have to line up properly. So you lower the front and go up to the side. Now after that is done, you put the back on to double check because they have to work together. So we put the lines together. Side. Okay. Do that. And then you will fold in the front fork point. Okay. So we make sure the main part lies flat. If you make any error, you have to correct it at this point. I haven't made an error. Because both of them have to work together. So we fold the 4-point area like that, while the main part lies flat. And then we're going to pin here to hold it in place. Okay. So we pin the inner leg like that. So the back now will line up properly. Everything should be good when you put it on. Alright, so we're going to cut out. Okay, and you're going to start your seam here to make sure it lines up properly. All right, and the same thing applies at the side. Oops. Make sure your sides are together here. Then we'll take off the back and we're going to complete our 4-point area for the front. Here. So the front is lower than the back. Okay. Now we're going to mark where the zip will fit. That's your zip. And actually your shorts stitch is done similar to your skirt, where you put your dart in using your 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters for the waist, over 40, and below use 9. So we put the mark where the darts will go. Alright, now for the band for the shorts, we're going to add, so that's both parts together there. We're going to add to the waist measurement 5 centimeters. When the skirt is done, we added 4 centimeters because the allowance has to go onto the fly. All right, when we get to the assembling of the shorts, you will have that detail. All right, so this is the band. All right, so we do the band here. All right, so we're going to add 5 to it. All right. And the 9. All right. We draw the line. So this is now the band. We're cutting the band for the shorts. Now you can check on my session on how to put in a pocket to do your pocket. Okay. Trust that this session was of help to you in making your shorts. Enjoy your sewing.